and I'm blessed to be part of a denomination that does not have that literal view, or otherwise I wouldn't be in this role. So I had the experience of an environment that was much more open, but in moments I had people come up to me. I had a man who was a priest walk up to me one day in the middle of an interview. He was seeking a job, and I was the one who would be hiring him for this job. And he walked up to me and he said, "Sure, you're a really nice lady, but you're no priest."
Yikes.
And I thought, well...
You don't have this job, sir.
I think that you may be a priest, but you're not a nice man. I can tell you that. So we get stuck in these mental constructs, and some of those have been constructed for us. And we find that people do one of two things. They adopt them, and they become absolute, or they flee from them, and often leave behind any kind of foundation, because they are so distorted by that experience that they find it difficult to come into another door. So I think that piece, particularly as we look at the issues of transition and change in our culture, so our issues around gender roles, the LGBTQ community, those roles that have emerged as so important to this culture. And again, I had the blessing of being exposed to the diversity of those roles and those experiences early enough in life that it was easy to embrace. And I lived in an environment where it was easy to embrace. But I watch people who have adopted or been given this very rigid construct. They cannot imagine anything new. And they are terrified to pull even one block out of that tower for fear the whole thing will collapse. And so often they are mentally unable to surrender that, even though it's truly a way we learn to think that we inherited. And rather than saying, this is a cultural bias that was built into a particular time in history, and it's no longer, there's nothing that will hold it up, that props it up anymore. Every single construct that we might have used at one point in history has been exposed as false. And yet,
cognitive dissonance is the only foundation.
That is the only foundation. And I cannot pull that one single piece out, even though my whole world would break open if I did.
Yeah.
And it's so curious to see that we, in this time of very dynamic change, it seems like we desperate need to hold on to.
So you would say that it's more of a byproduct of that dichotomy, that women are so few and far between as representative of clergy people in the Christian community at large, all Christian denominations. Okay, so if the situation were reversed and there were equal number of male and female clergy people in all denominations, what do you think that would look like? What would the Christian church be like if that were the case?
I think it would look like all humanity standing at the table together. I think it would look like the human family, and I think we would have the healthy feminine and the healthy masculine, rather than a distorted patriarchy. And its twin, a distorted matriarchy. And I think what that has driven us to is a pathological patriarchy and a pathological matriarchy, because we have separated what is not intended to be separated. It's like a DNA strand. Having both male and female gives us a richness of our humanity, and the full expression of that even transcends male and female to so many other arenas. So I think what it would look like, and I think my prayer is that will happen. The day will come when we will stand at the table, presiding at the feast, and all humanity will be there. And I have had the gift of witnessing that on many occasions, and so I know the power of it. And I've had people say it to me when they, sitting out in a congregation and having witnessed the shared experience at that table, what a profound effect it had had on them, and that they could never go back. They couldn't go back.
I guess a little inclusiveness goes a long way.
I think it does.
That's great.
I think it does.
So that was the limit of my questions. Did you have any questions of your own, or anything you wanted to say that I didn't touch on? Anything that you think I should hear?
I don't think so. I think I love that you're doing this. I think these conversations are so important. And I once upon a time when the skateboard culture was high flying,
Mid-90s Tony Hawk era?
You got it. And the No Fear T-shirts were out
right,
there.
I remember that.
I adopted that No Fear.
I love that.
As that was my vision statement for a number of years, that we must be the people of no fear. And so you're being in this program and getting to do this kind of conversation, it's about being people of no fear, and it's really what I want to. It's my one sermon, is that we are called all to be the beloved community and to be people of no fear.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. You're the best.
Thank you.